Good day, everyone. Our topic today is Introduction to Industrial Security with Police Organization, Interagency Approach. So, kaninang umaga natapos na yung Industrial Security. Now we are focusing on Police Organization, Interagency Approach. I hope makinig kayo. Introduction. First is Law Enforcement Administration. The process involves ensuring strict compliance, proper obedience of laws and related statutes, focuses on the policing process of how law enforcement agencies are organized and managed in order to achieve the goals of law enforcement most effectively, efficiently, and productivity. Sa Law Enforcement Administration, sila pa yung gumagawa ng rules and regulations to implement para mapatupad ng law enforcement or law enforcer yung mga rules and regulations sa pamumuno dito sa mga batas. How about law? It is the system of rules that a particular country or community recognized as regulating the actions of its members and may enforced by the imposition of penalties. So, ito po, sinasabi nating laws, ito yung mga batas na kung saan pag may ginawa tayong mali, may mga batas na may karampatang batas or parusa. Enforcement means to compel obedience to a law, regulation, or command. Administration and organizational processes concerned with the implementation of objectives and plans and internal operating efficiency. So kanina, law enforcement administration, kung saan yung mga law enforcement natin, yung mga law enforcer natin yung nagpapatupad, implementing rules and regulations. Pero yung administration, sila pa yung gumagawa ng rules and regulations na ibibigay sa law enforcer para sila yung magpatupad. So, historical background of policing. So, in the word police originated from the Greek word politia, meaning government of a city. After the word police or politia from the Greek word, na-change po siya to Roman word to slightly politia. From the politia, na-change po from the Roman word politia. And it was changed from the French and word to police and applied it is those people who actually enforce the law. So from the politia, Greek word politia, nabago po siya through Roman to politia. So after that, na-change po again to police from the French word. From the politia, napunta sa policia, and now from the French word police and applied to those people who actually enforce the law. So thereafter, the English and American borrowed the word intact from the French and used it to describe law enforcement in terms which is assimilated to the English and American language were of French origin. Hanggang ngayon, yung ginagamit natin is from the French word police. Next, early police system, the Anglo-Saxon period. Frank-pledge system, earlier known as Free-Boer Peace Pledge. It is also known as Mutual Pledge, wherein every male over 12 years old joined 9 of his neighbors to form a tithing. So, the word tithing, a group of men whose duty was to apprehend any person who offends another and deliver that offender for trial. So noon, yung tithing is binubuo siya ng mga 12 years old na male, mga 12 pa lang yung edad, ay binubuo na para gawing tithing, Sila yung law enforcement dati. Tithing man or chief pledge leader of the group. Town's village policing system. Town is the forerunner of the word town. Under this system, all male residents are required to regard the town and to preserve the peace and order, to protect life and property from the harm and disturbance. So, nung panahon daw, ito yung nangyayari, So, lahat ng lalaki ay ginagawang law enforcement or policing system para protektahan yung kanilang life and property and from harm and disturbance. How about hue and cry? A system of apprehending a criminal whereby the complainant goes to the middle of the street and shout to call all male residents to assemble. The victim reports the whereabouts of the perpetrator. All male residents would then proceed to locate and apprehend the culprit. When apprehended, trial is conducted, giving a culprit to defend himself. So noon, mayroon din nangyayari, Halimbawa is, yung babae is ninakawan or na-snatch. So yung ginagawa ng babae is lumalabas sa public place at sumisigaw. Sumisigaw kung naghihingi ng tulong o ano pa. After that, napapansin ng mga male, so yung mga lalaki is, yung ginagawa nila ay hinuhuli nila yung perpetrator or culprit. How about the royal judge? A person who conducts criminal investigation and gives punishment. Punishment usually fits the crime committed. How about trial by ordeal? A system determining the guilt or innocence of one person in the ancient times, which was based on painful test of skills. So noon, mayroon din nangyaring trial by ordeal. Maraming mga ginagawa noon para masabing siya yung gumawa ng krimen. Halimbawa ng trial by ordeal, noon, once na may nangyari sa barangay nyo or sa lugar nyo, lahat ng lalaki or kung kahit sino, itinutulnob yung kamay sa mainit na tubig. Next is the normal period of policing. The Shire or Share Reeve system. Shire Reeve, 55 Manila District, established by King William Norman. Shire means district. Reeve means the ruler who made laws, passed judgment, and imposed punishment. Sheriff, title of the chief or constable or police officer in certain town. How about traveling judge? He was held responsible in deciding cases that were taken from sheriff due to some abuses. How about Leges Henry? The law of King Henry during this period, an offense were classified as against the king and individual. So noon, offense is classified as against sa kanilang king and individual. Policemen were considered public officials. Police and citizens have the broad power to arrest. A grand jury was created to inquire on the facts of that law. How about the Magna Carta? Laws were enacted upon the demand of the Knights of the Round Table and forced the king to sign the same. Example of the principles of law include the following. A. No free men shall be taken or imprisoned, disposed or outlawed, except by the legal judgment of his peers. B. No person shall be tried from murder unless there is proof that body of the victim. Beginning of the national and local government as well as legislation. How about the Westminster period of policing of 1285 to 1500? No? The Statute of 1295, this law prescribed the closing of the gate of London at sundown, start of the curfew systems. Justice of the peace, this was position which gives a person the power to arrest, pursue, and impose imprisonment. The Star Chamber Court, a special court which try offense against the state. In the modern policing system, may tinatawag tayong Night Watchmen of Bellmen by King Charles II to bound to be on duty from sunset to sunrise. How about Bow Street Runners? Established by Henry Fielding, Chief Magistrate at Bow Street in London. Metropolitan Police Service, established by Sir Robert Peel, British statesman in 1229. The world's first organized police force, later called Scotland Yard. This period came to the limelight when a bill creating the Scotland Yard was passed by the Parliament of England. It was sponsored and expanded by Sir Robert Peel, who has made to be the first head of the police organization. He was referred as the father of modern policing system due to his contribution in the modernization of the police force. So si King Robert Peel, siya yung tinatawag na father of the modern policing system. So in the Philippine police, early development, pre-Spanish regime, barangay society, village chief, administrative leader of community. About Freemen, assisted the chief with the work involving the welfare of the community. So we have laws. First is Code of Kalanchaw, law that gives harsh and savage punishment. Another laws is Maragtas Code, considers the oldest written law. How about Luwaran, that is Muslim. In Spanish regime, Carabineros de Seguridad Pública, organized in 1712 for the purpose of carrying the regulation of the Department of State. This was armed and considered as the mountain police, who later discharged the duties of a port, harbor, and river police. How about Guardilleros, a body of rural police organized in each town that was created by the Royal Decree of January 8, 1836. How about Guardia Civil? The police organization created by the Royal Decree issued by the Spanish Crown government on February 12, 1852. It consisted of a body of Filipino policemen organized originally in each of the provincial capital of the central provinces of Luzon under the command of Alcaide or governor. In Japanese occupation, the Japanese military police known as Kimpitai were held responsible in maintaining peace and order in Manila. And adjacent urban areas, Kimpitai ruled the urban areas until General Douglas MacArthur returned on February 7, 1945. In Philippine independence, February 7, 1945, General MacArthur returned to the Philippines the Manila Police was again placed under the American control. So in June 4, 1946, when Philippine independence was established, Pres Manuel Rojas became the first president and appointed Colonel Lamberto T. Habalera as Chief of Police of Manila. History of the Philippines or Philippine Police or Philippine National Police. First is nagkamayroon ng Insular Police Force. Was established on November 30, 1890 during the Filipino-American War 1898 to 1901. Upon the recommendation of the Philippine Commission to the Secretary of War. March 23, 1901, the eventual capture of the elusive leader of the First Philippine Republic, General Emilio Aguinaldo. It is an event that signaled the end of the Filipino-American War. About Vice Governor Locke R. Wright, the Secretary of the Department of Commerce and Police Force for the U.S. Army in the Philippines. About William Howard Taft, head of the Second Philippine Commission, the Philippines Commission in the accordance with the instruction of the Secretary of War to talk over the government from the military on July 18, 1901, with Taft as civil governor. So, Insular Constabulary was created on July 18, 1901 by virtue of Act number 1705, titled as an act providing for the organizations and government of an insular constabulary. So, Manila Police Department or MPD was organized on July 31, 1901 by virtue of Act 1803 of the Philippine Commission. This chief of police was Captain George Carey, a U.S. Army officer appointed by the Taft Commission. August 7, 1901, Captain Columbus Fiat was the last American COP of MPD before World War II broke out. No? Chief of Police of Manila Police Department. October 3, 1901, the Insular Constabulary was changed to the Philippine Constabulary or PC. So after Insular, it was changed to Philippine Constabulary or PC by virtue of Act number 255. Captain Henry T. Allen was the first chief of the Philippine Constabulary. He was the PC chief from 1901 to 1907, such that he was called as the father of constabulary in the Philippines. Siya yung tinatawag na the father of constabulary in the Philippines. Si Captain Henry T. Allen. Revised Administrative Code of 1917 was approved a year before World War I, August 1914 to November 1918 ended. The Constable under the Commonwealth Act, December 1935, the National Defense Act or Commonwealth Act number 1 was enacted, creating the Philippine Army. This ended the 35 years of service and the experience of the PC as Insular Police Force. October 26, 1936, the Insular Police duties and the function of the Philippine Constabulary were entrusted to the state police created by Commonwealth Act of number 88. Next is Brigadier General Rafael Cramy, the first Filipino Chief of Police of the Philippine Constabulary. He served as the PC Chief from 1917 to 1927. The first War Constable, President Sergio Osmeña, on October 28, 1944, issued an executive order pursuant to General Order Number 50 and 51 that constitute Insular Police into the Military Police Command. RA 157 created the National Bureau of Investigation on June 29, 1946. So RA 157, tinawag siya National Bureau of Investigation on June 29, 1947. In July 1, 1947, the constabulary was revived. About 12,000 of officers and men were withdrawn from the Military Police Command and transferred to the Department of Interior and constitute the National Police Force designated in the Philippine Constabulary. See. Colonel Lamberto T. Habalera, the first COP of MPD appointed by President Rojas under the Republic government. So RA 2678, the expansion and reorganization of the NBI as an investigative and research service agency. So RA 4864, or Police Act of 1966, created of the Office of the Police Commissions, or tinatawag ng NAPOLCOM, later called as National Police Commissions, under the Office of the President. This law provided the legal guideline in undertaking at the national level reform which contribute to the improvement of police efficiency and performance. So, Presidential Decree 765 enacted that NAPOLCOM should be under the office of the Ministry of National Defense. And the birth of the Philippine National Police, or PNP, start from the RA 6975, December 13, 1990, or Department of the Interior Local Government Act of 1990, also recognized as the PNP Law of 1991, approved by the President Corazon Aquino, created the Philippine National Police and declared it to be the only police force of the country, with national in scope and civilian in character. General Cesar P. Nazareno was appointed by the President Corazon C. Aquino as first Director General of the PNP. In January 29, 1991, the Philippine Constabulary and the Integrated National Police were retired and PNP was activated in place, merging the OPC and INP into PNP. So, from Philippine Constabulary or International INP, nabago siya to Philippine National Police. In October 28, 1992, after the retirement of General Cesar Nazareno, General Raul Imperial became the second PNP chief This thought was short-lived because he retired on May 6, 1993. So, halos nag-isang taon lang. General Humberto Rodriguez, appointed by President Fidel V. Ramos as the third PNP chief on May 6, 1993, he masterly guided the organization to what it has become today. And now, RA 8551, February 25, 1998, PNP Reform and Reorganization Act of 1998, approved by Presidential Fidel Ramos, and an amended RA 6970, 6975, reorganized the PNP for the purpose of reforming and professionalizing it. So, fundamental theories of police service. So, we have the continental theory and the home rule theory. So, when we say continental theory, police are servant of higher authorities and the people have little or no share at all in their duties, nor any direct connection with them. In the home rule theory, policemen are considered as servants of the community who defend for the effectiveness of their functions upon the express wishes of the people. So noon daw is yung fundamental theories of police service. So yung may tinatawag na continental theory and home rule theory. So sa continental theory, sinasabi dito na yung police is yung servant nyo, nagsiserve siya sa mga higher authorities, sa mga government officials or sa mga higher officials. Doon lang sila nagbibigay ng serbisyo. Sabi dito is people who have little or no share at all in their duties. So sa panahon, yung mga higher authorities lang talaga yung binibigyan nila ng serbisyo. Yung mga tao dati sa community is little share or wala talaga. So, and after continental theory, nagkamayroon ng home rule theory kung saan yung police are considered as servants of the community. So noon, servants of the higher authorities, and now home rule theory is servant of the community was depend on the effectiveness of their functions upon the express wishes of the people. So ngayon sa home rule theory, yung mga police officer natin sa yung siniserbisyuhan nila is yung community na, hindi na yung mga higher authorities. Concept of the police service. So we have the tinatawag na old concept and modern concept. So noon, yung old concept, this old philosophy means throwing more people in jail rather than keeping this out jail. Punishment is the sole instrument of crime control. The yardstick of efficiency of the police is more on arrest. So noon daw, yung old concept, sinasabi na effective lang daw yung police kung marami silang nahuhuli ng mga kriminal. So, kung marami silang nahuhuli or napapakulong ng mga kriminal, ibig sabihin, yung mga police natin is effective. And in the modern concept, police service today has broadened its activities to include certain aspects of social service for the welfare of the people, their yardstick of efficiency in the absence of crime. So, sa old concept, masasabi lang natin na effective yung police officer natin, yung mga kapulisan natin kapag marami yung nakukulong na kriminal, sa modern concept, masasabi naman dito natin kabaliktaran sa old concept. Kung dito sa modern concept, masasabi natin na effective yung police officer, yung mga police natin kung wala absence of crime, yung walang nagagawang krimen sa community. So we have organizational units. So topic is functional units. So, yun, mayroon tayong sinasabing bureau, division, section, at saka unit. No? Yung bureau is the largest organic function unit within a large department and comprised of numbers of division. So, yung bureau daw is the largest organic functional unit within a large department and comprised of numbers of division. Halimbawa dito is, ito yung bureau natin, no? Ito yung bureau natin, buo siya. Tapos, a primary subdivision of the bureau is division. So, mayroon sin division. Halimbawa is, ininati natin sa dalawa. Yung division, yung bureau, hinati natin sa dalawa. And now, that is division. And after that, katapos ng division, is nagkamayroon ng section. Functional unit with a division of that is necessary for specialization. In every division, nahati siya sa dalawa. Kaya nagkamayroon ng section. Yung section, functional unit with a division that is necessary for specialization. Katapos ng section at yung section is hinati for unit. And yung section natin is ganito at hinati sa unit. Yung unit is functional group with the sections or the smallest functional group within our organization. From the bigger down to smallest from bureau down to division, section, at saka sa pinakamaliit na unit. That is functional units or organizational units. Next is territorial units. So, dito naman is from the smallest to the largest area, no? Dito naman is yung area yung pinag-uusapan. Post is a fixed point or location to which an officer is assigned of duty, such as a designated desk or officer of an interaction or crosswalk from traffic duty. It is a spot location for general guard duty. Halimbawa natin dito, or example natin is yung mga guard post, no? Yung mga outpost natin. Halimbawa, noon, yung mga every barangay natin is may mga post nila, no? Yung nakapwesto sa labas, may kunting bahay. That is the fixed point na tinatawag kung saan yung police officer natin, doon nakapwesto sa designated na area niya, no? About road, a length of the street designated for patrol purposes, it is also called line beat. About beat, an area assigned for patrol purposes where foot or motorized sa road, nagagamit dito is for or designated for patrol purposes. It is also known line beat, nagagawa dito is spot patrolling. So sa sa beat, dito na is yung foot patrol and pwede na rin motorized, How about sector? An area containing 2 or more beats, roads or posts, motorcycle or four wheels na dito yung ginagamit nila. How about district or geographical subdivision of a city for patrol purposes, usually with its own station? An area, how about area? A section or territorial division of a large city, each comprised of designated districts, So, kung babalik ta rin dito natin is, yung area is yung pinakamalaki. At tapos hinati yung area sa dalawa, that is district. Yung district is hinati na naman ulit natin and turn to sector. Pag hinati natin yung sector, that is bit. No? Pag hinati yung bit, tawag doon is route, ano? Tapos, magkakamayroon ng post or tinatawag na fixed point or location. Functional in police organization, we have line function, functions that carry out the major purposes of the organization, delivering service and dealing directly with the public. Sila po yung tinatawag na line function, no? Sila yung mas nasa operation area. The patrol function is accurately called the backbone of the police service. Second, staff service. Staff service functions that are designed to support the line functions and assist in the performance of the line function. Sabi ko, from the lowest to the highest, so yung nasa baba is yung line function, yung mataas sa kanila is staff service. Through that staff service, sila yung sumusupport sa mga line function. How about auxiliary services? Functions involve the logistical operation of the organization. Example are communication, maintenance, record management, supplies and equipment management. Andyan na po yung auxiliary services. Lahat po ng communication or maintenance, mga gamit, dyan po nanggagaling sa auxiliary. Kung anong kinakailangan ng mga line functions at ina-assist sila ng staff, tapos yung staff services, sila yung nakikipag-communicate sa auxiliary services to provide the needs, maintenance and supply and equipment sa line function. So, organic units in a police organization, we have operational unit, no? Those that perform primary or line function. So, yung line function or tinatawag siyang operational units. Example, patrol, traffic, investigation, and vice control. So, yung trabaho ng operational units or line function is for patrolling, traffic enforcer, investigation, and vice control. How about in administrative units or supportive units, auxiliary, no? Those that performs the administrative functions, example, personnel, finance, planning, and training. How about service unit? Those that perform auxiliary functions. Example is communication, records, and management. About elements of police organization, we have unity of command. Requires that an individual be directly accountable to only one superior. No person can effectively serve two superiors at a given time. So, in the unity of command, dapat meron lang isang superior. Siya lang yung maghahatag ng order or instruction sa mga subordinates. Wala nang iba. How about chain of command? Primarily, this principle provides for the vertical movement of authority up and down, established channels in the organization. Hierarchy, the arrangement of officers from top to bottom of the basis of rank or position and authority. Halimbawa sa chain of command, from the chief of PNP down to the local, no? So, from the higher officer down to lower, sa pinakamababa. Sunod-sunod lang yung information na pinapaabot patong sa mababang position. How about delegation of responsibility and authority? There must be a clear line of normal authority running from the top to bottom of every organization. It is important also to the responsibility and the authority of be clearly defined, ano? Sa delegation of responsibility of authority, halimbawa yung head officer nyo is wala dyan, hindi nakapag-attend, so mayroon siyang inaatasang mamuno sa inyong bago pa sa inyong subordinate, ano? Sa inyong grupo, mayroon siyang ina-assign na magiging mamumuno sa inyong grupo. That is delegation of responsibility and authority. Kung sino yung halimbawa is siya, yung head, mayroon siyang second in command. Kung wala yung head nyo, yung second in command, siya yung binibigyan ng authority to handle or carry sa grupo. How about span of control? The number of officers or units reporting directly to the superior should not be exceed the number that can be feasibly and effectively coordinated and directed. Sa span of control, may maximum lang siyang persons na kayang hawakan. How about command and responsibility? Dictates that immediate commanders shall be responsible for the effective supervision and control of their personnel and units. Kaya dito sa command and responsibility, kahit yung subordinates is kung yung subordinates is may nangyari sa kanya sa mga tao mo, yung head siya yung command and responsibility. Yung siya yung responsible sa nangyari sa kanyang subordinates. Kasi kung hindi yan mangyayari sa kanya o walang masamang mangyayari sa kanya kung na-supervise mo silang lahat. And I hope lahat ng discussion is na-observe nyo. That's all. Thank you for listening and God bless. Ingat po tayong lahat.